Hello friends, welcome to my channel Polity and Sciences. Today we are going to learn about the philosophy behind the making of in constitution. Before going further, I would like to request you all to subscribe, like and share my channel. So without wasting too much of time, let us begin. So in this segment we are going to learn about the meaning of a constitutional government. We are going to understand how and why India decided to frame its constitution. Thirdly, which body of people framed this constitution, and the last one, how the constitution was framed. So first here is the introduction. Modern democracies are based on the theory of constitutional government. Constitutional government means the government which is run by the parameters laid by the Constitution. It also means that the government cannot go against the Constitution at all. The Indian Constitution established is a republican democracy. Here, see, a country may be democratic but may not be a republic. That Greater Britain is a good example for this one. There they are having democracy, but actually they are not republic. India, whereas, is a republic because it is not having any monarch. Hence, it is a republican democracy. Its authority is derived from the people and it is the supreme law of the land. The meaning of constitutional government. There are broadly two kinds of constitution in this democratic world. The constitution that have grown gradually over decades, centuries through customs, conventions, legislative enactments and judicial decisions, as in the United Kingdom and the British dominions like Canada, Australia and New Zealand. The second one is the constitution that were framed by representative assemblies, usually after revolutions, to make a fresh start of a new regime. These representative assemblies have been variously named as national assemblies, constitutional conventions and constituent assemblies. In both this type of constitution, however, the constitution means a body of fundamental laws that cannot be easily changed and that have to be respected by all governments and all citizens. The idea of a constituent assembly to frame a constitution for a country like India was aligned to the British imperial practice. It was first demanded by the International Congress in 1934. The Muslim League was opposed to it because it suspected that a constituent assembly elected by adult franchise would be dominated by the Congress, whom the League considered to be a Hindu party. The cabinet mission plan. In January 1946, there were elections to the provincial legislatures. In March the same year, a committee of the British cabinet, known as the Cabinet Mission, led by Sir Patrick Lawrence, visited India to assess the Indian political situation and frame a scheme for making a constitution for India. The cabinet mission held a conference at Shimla to bring about an understanding among the major political parties but failed to achieve it. So the mission issued its own plan. The plan made by the cabinet mission recommended for a constituent assembly consisting of the representatives of all major groups. The cabinet mission thought that through the ideal way to form it would be through election on the basis of adult suffrage. There was no time left for that. Earlier that year, provincial legislatures had been elected on the basis of a limited franchise and communal electorates. The cabinet mission proposed that the Constituent Assembly be elected by those provincial assemblies. The federal formula. The cabinet mission held that as the Muslims were apprehensive of a unitary Hindu majority state, the constitutional structure should be federal. The provinces should have maximum autonomy, and central government should have minimum power, such as on foreign affairs, defense, and communication. The union could raise necessary financial resources required for the administration of such subjects. The union would include not only the British Indian provincials but also the princely states, so long under the paramount power of the British government. All the residual powers, that is, powers not given to the union, would belong to the provinces and states. The union should have an executive and a legislature consisting of representatives of the provinces and the states. Any question raising a major communal issue in the legislature should require for its decision a majority of the representatives present and voting of each of the two major communities, that is Hindus and Muslims. The cabinet mission made an extraordinary proposal. Provinces should be free to form groups with executives and legislatures, and each group could determine the provincial subjects to be taken in common. This would create a third tier of government. An odd procedure. This is the interesting one. More extraordinarily, the cabinet mission itself laid down a procedure for the Constituent Assembly that would necessarily create groups in a communal way. According to that procedure, provinces would sit in three sections as determined by the mission. Two of such section would be Muslim majority and the third section would be Hindu majority. The Hindu majority section A, would be made UP of the provinces of Madras, would be made up section A would be made up of the provinces of Madras, Bombay, United Provinces, now Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Central Province, now Madhya Pradesh, and Orissa. Section B would comprise Punjab, Baluchistan, the northwest frontier province, and Sindh. Section C would be made up of Assam and Bengal. Assam itself was not a Muslim majority province, but Bengal and Assam together would be a Muslim majority section. The third extraordinary phenomenon was a partial application of the communal veto. No decision on a major communal issue could be taken in in the Constituent Assembly without a majority of the members of the two major communities agreeing to it. This principle, however, would not apply to the sections where a simple majority was enough to take any decision. See, this odd procedure also made it clear that this section A section A was maximum it was populated by Hindu population, whereas B and C was populated by non-Hindu population. So the people who used to say that partition took place on the basis of communal or on basis of religion, you can see it is completely bluff, and it is a false propaganda according to the facts present with us. So the fourth extraordinary phenomenon was the formula that once a section formed a group constitution, no province would be free to withdraw from the group. It was in a province could leave such a group only after the first general election held under the group constitution. The groups, as a result, would be the most important level of government. The group constitution would effectively take precedence over the provincial as well as the union constitution. The section would first frame the provincial constitution and their own constitution before sitting together to frame the union constitution. The provincial freedom was just a farce. The provinces were free only to join the groups as predetermined by the cabinet mission. Composition of the proposed Constituent Assembly. The 292 Constituent Assembly seats were allotted to the governors' provinces according to the strength of their population. The Chief Commissioner provinces were to be represented by 4 members. 93 seats were allotted to 566 princely states. It was later agreed between the negotiating committees of the Constituent Assembly and the princes that half the members representing the princely states would be elected and the rest nominated by the princes. The cabinet mission proposed that while the work of constitution making would proceed, the government should be carried on by the governor general with the help of representatives of the major parties. There was some difference between the Congress and the Muslim League on the composition of the interim government, but they were sorted out. A new executive council was set up, first with mostly Congress members and then including Muslim Leagues. The difference on the grouping plan for the Constituent Assembly, however, could not be resolved. The Congress agreed to sit in the section but refused to join the groups that the section might decide upon. The Muslim League would not join to the Constituent Assembly unless the Congress agreed to the grouping arrangement set by the cabinet mission plan. Ultimately, when the Constituent Assembly was convened by the Governor General Lord Mountbatten on 9th December 1946, the Muslim League members were absent. They did not join the assembly until after the decision to partition British India was taken. When this happened on 14 July 1947, only 23 Muslim Leaguers arrived at the Constituent Assembly of India. The others went to the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan. Hope you have enjoyed this video, friends. Thanks for watching.